Hey, Sidhu here, founder of onlinefitnessbusiness.com, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how I became a fully booked, in fact, just how I started, how I became a full-time online personal trainer. I'm going to talk to you about how I got clients to begin with and what allowed me to be successful when I first started. I'm going to talk to you about what I was doing before that and what led me to working with clients online. And then how I scaled and what my life looked like as an online personal trainer growing an online fitness business. Before we dive into any of that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The link is down here somewhere. And if you have any questions at the end of the video, make sure you leave them in the comments. So let's dive into how I became a full-time online personal trainer. So a quick bit of history. I've always been a business owner. I've never had a job in my life, bar learning the business with my parents. So my parents, this is really going back, my parents owned clothing stores. I hated it because it was women's clothes, right? I was a young kid, I didn't want to stand on the shop floor and work at a women's clothes shop. So when I left college, I did that for a little while and I was part of their business, and I said, look, I will stay in this industry because it's what you expect of me. Asian parents, they're a bit pushy. But I wanted to go and do my own thing. So I set up on my own and I started selling women's clothes and women's shoes online. And I was fairly successful, but also still miserable because I just hated the industry. Everything about it, the buying, the selling, the customer service, everything. The lifestyle, just wasn't happy, but making a lot of money. So what I started doing is I started working with clients as a personal trainer around that. And I did that for quite a few years. I had a big warehouse because I was doing really well as a shoe seller. Towards the end, I stopped selling clothes, just shoes. So I had a big warehouse. I started working with clients at the warehouse and I'd go to their homes as well. And then eventually I just had enough of that business and effectively just turned my back on it and walked away. It wasn't the wisest decision. I should have, had a plan to exit it, but I didn't. I was just so unhappy. So I walked away from that business. Had a, oh shit, what have I done moment, realized I was completely broke, had nothing, but started working with more and more clients because I had more and more free time. So I was working with personal training clients, enjoying it a lot, despite being broke and being in a lot of debt, but eventually worked my way out of debt and earned enough money to open a gym. So I eventually opened a gym, which I was actually really successful pretty much from the get-go. We made an offer to people who signed up before or during our open day. It was called the Founding Members Club, and that was just a catalyst for amazing success. And then that gym was really successful. I opened another gym, I think it was about a year later. Not quite as successful as in a smaller town, but still did really well. And during that time, I started working with clients online. The first thing I actually did was we would do challenges for the gym members. So completely unrelated to their training. We would launch like nutrition challenges, or we had a power athlete program, which was based around training for American football. And that was like an online programming. So without realizing, I was already working with the gym clients online. And then I tried loads of different things. I tried to emulate what other celebrity trainers online were doing. I invested in a high ticket online coach, and then never did anything with it because it just went against everything I believed in. Ethically, it was just horrible, making people cry and making them feel bad so they bought from you. I wasn't into any of that. So what I did was, whilst I still had the gyms, I took 6 clients online and said that I would work with them for free. And I did that. I worked with them for free for 12 weeks. And at the end of the 12 weeks, I'd obviously been publishing content about what I was doing with these clients. And I was testing everything as well. So I was working with these clients one-to-one online, but I was testing how we did check-ins. I was testing how we interacted, how I managed them, how I programmed for them, how I delivered program, different apps, different software. I just tried everything. I worked with them for free for 12 weeks, these 6 people. At the end of the 12 weeks, we had some amazing results and all of them stayed on as paying clients. And at that point, I was charging £97 or £99 a month. I just said, if you want to stay anymore, then this is what it's going to be. And they all stayed, which was amazing. And then from that point, that's all I did. My work was one-to-one online client. I still own the gyms at this point. I was working with one-to-one online clients, charging £100 a month at first, and eventually I worked up to £250 a month. And in terms of how I got clients, I did two things. Number one, I was quite frequent. I was very frequent on social media. This was maybe pre-Instagram or right at the beginning, so it was all Facebook. I didn't actually jump on Instagram until late. So it was all Facebook, primarily my personal Facebook profile, really taking advantage of my existing network, right? People who already knew me through the gyms, friends of friends. I made my profile completely public, and I would talk about life stuff. I would use it as a personal profile because that's what it is. But I would also talk about the work that I was doing. I would share my expertise, make people aware of the fact that I could help them. And then, so that was step one, and I would get clients directly through Facebook. But I was also building an email list at the same time. And that's when things really started to scale. So no paid adverts, no Instagram back then, just Facebook personal profile primarily, and building an email list. And my routine every single day was I would wake up, make myself a cup of tea, and write my daily email. So I wrote email every single day. And within a few months, I was getting a client every single day from my emails as my email list grew. And I didn't have a huge email list, maybe 1,000 people at the time when that started happening, which isn't massive by today's standards. So that was going really well. I worked my way up to around 60 one-to-one online clients, paying me between £97 a month and £250 a month, I think. So a wide range, just because I'd worked my way up as I'd got better at selling, more confident in my service, more in demand. I increased my price to match. And then I got to 60, realized that I was now the owner of 2 gyms and trying to work with 60 one-to-one online clients, and I started feeling burnt out again. So what I did was I stopped taking on any new online clients, and I eventually whittled it down to about 40, which is where I felt comfortable. And I sold my gyms, which was scary because it meant that I was going all in on this online thing. Obviously, I had a bit of money then to kind of keep me safe, but it was still scary. So I was in the gym every single day, seeing hundreds of people, and then I actually sold the gyms a few days before I got married. Like that's when the sale was finalized. So I sold the gyms, was seeing hundreds of people a day, got married, went on honeymoon, came back, and all of a sudden I was seeing nobody, and it was a real shock, culture shock, maybe not a culture shock, but a real shock to my daily life. I went from interacting with hundreds of people, seeing lots of people, coaching people in person, having conversations, to me being alone in my spare room, or with my dog in my spare room. And that was a surprise to me, not the glamorous traveling the world life it was made out to be. Don't get me wrong, I did that on my honeymoon. And just by the way, on my honeymoon, I still sent, phone going off, I still sent my daily email. I'd still wake up a little bit before Amy, send my daily email, close my laptop, carry on with my day. So at that point, I've sold my gyms, I've got 40 one-to-one online clients, and I'd started launching group programs. My company is called Project Lean. It was called Primal Bodies when I first started, and then I changed it to Project Lean. And I started launching group programs called Project Lean. It was 4 weeks long, and I would give people a version of a nutrition program that advised them on portion sizes, macros, gave them recipes, kept them accountable, managed them in the group, provided them with basic training programs, and that started going really well. I think in the first one we had 29 people, and over the course of 4 years, that scaled to 300 people most months in that program. And I played around with pricing, duration of that program, but for the most part, it was 4 weeks long, and it was at £97. I tried 6 weeks, I tried cheaper, but that's where it lay. And once that scale didn't come just from Facebook posts and email anymore. Don't get me wrong, that was still responsible for my early growth and my ongoing growth. A lot of people make the mistake of moving on to paid marketing, which I'm going to talk to you about in a moment, and then stopping all the good stuff that got them there. And that's just a massive mistake. So I was still doing all of that, but then I started adding paid marketing to my marketing. Started running Facebook ads to my 4-week program, my 30-day program, Project Lean, driving hundreds of people into that every month. And then off the back of that, we were selling people into one-to-one, or again, we tested a few different things. We tested a membership program, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's whatever is right for you and your company and for the type of people that you work with. What we found best and what we enjoyed doing best was working with clients one-to-one after they'd done that group program. So we were driving hundreds of people every single month into this group program, and then we would take on maybe 10% of those clients as one-to-one online clients. And at that point, it was myself and 2 other coaches. And it was really good. It was hard because of the volume of people, meant customer service was tough. We would have a lot of people we were dealing with at any one time. But it was worth it, obviously. So I did that up until 2017, I think it was. Beginning in the middle of 2016, I'd started working with other trainers and coaches and helping them basically do the same, or their own version of it, working with clients online, whether it one-to-one, group programs, membership programs, whatever it may be. And in 2017, I actually stopped working on Project Lean. I actually handed it over to the other coaches, and they've been paying me ever since until I release it to them completely. And I just went all in on working with other trainers and coaches. It's not something that I wanted to do to begin with because Project Lean was successful. I didn't want to be seen as a business guru or mentor because at the time they had a really bad reputation and I didn't want to be tarred with the same brush. But by saying no, I was pushing good trainers and coaches towards them. So I started working with trainers and coaches then, and that's what I've done ever since. And that is my story of how I became a full-time online personal trainer. Started selling ladies' shoes, burnt that business to the ground, went all in on personal training, opened a gym, opened a second gym, started working with clients online, sold my gyms, scaled my online personal training business, and now I help personal trainers and nutrition coaches and any kind of fitness related coach do the same as what I did or do their version of it. If you've got any questions about anything that I've spoke about, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and let me know what else you want to see from me. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Bye bye.